am familiar with the show 9 to 5 because the national tour was redirected by my director that gave me my first start, Jeff Calhoun. So this is sort of like a full circle moment because I got to see their last studio run through, not knowing that the show would ever play a role in my life because I had never done the show. I do love Dolly Parton, obviously. But putting this show together has been a labor of love. You know, it's really fun to sort of put my own take now that I've been doing shows, how to sort of put my voice on it, but staying true to what the piece is, which is hilarious, it's fast-paced, it's fun, it's exciting, and it's something different. I mean, those musical arrangements, they hit, they slap hard. Stephen Remus, you did that. But now we get to sort of do it with these incredible performers, and I want people to leave the theater just feeling the sense of joy and the same joy that we had putting the show together, and also just having good laughs. This show is about it's about three women that find each other and want to sort of flip the script on the man's world, and they do so in their own way. And like girl power, I'm about it. But more so, this show is high energy. It's great music, and it's just great fun.
When students arrive, we basically get 11 days to complete the show in its entirety, because then we start to layer all those other things on top of it. So if they're still worrying about what their staging, blocking, choreography, lines, vocal parts are, then when we start to layer on, then you have this quick change and a wig change and a this and a that and this prop that you're moving, then that starts to like dwindle a little bit and we lose some of its power. So pushing to basically have a full show done in 11 days.
It's very fast-paced, and that's not something I'm super used to.
Let's put you on the couch. Let's put you on the couch.
Chair. Yeah, we can get
in the chair.
Here, it's like, okay, we know what we're doing, and you have like 2 hours to do that thing. That's done. Boom. Lunch, we're doing another thing.
Clean up the evidence.
But Violet didn't mean to. It was an accident.
Oh. So you admit you all tried to murder me?
Mr. Hart, please, can we just talk about this?
Just by being in the same room as Jelani and Alexia, I pay so much more attention to not only like my performances, but just like how a show works. In the past performing, I kind of put my blinders on and I like rush through a show and I'm like, oh, well, the show's over. And you don't really experience it, but because how much they're forcing us to be like locked in and dropped in, I'm able to like actually enjoy it and experience and feel every single scene that I'm in.
And the kids, I'm not even gonna call them kids, they're young stars. You know, I'm from a small town in New Jersey, and I know a lot of these kids come from small towns, so when I see them, I can see myself. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, that was me. That was me. And to have this opportunity and how they're sort of taking it and running with it and just soaring. It's just like every day is just like an aha moment. And every day you get to see somebody have a breakthrough, or every day you get to see somebody try something that maybe they haven't done before, but are there to try it because they feel supported. And that's thanks to this team, that's thanks to this environment. And it's really thanks to SSTI. Pulling it back while you're singing, oh my gosh. You're going off stage and now it's just Kate alone.
Jelani brings this authentic energy into a room that I think just makes everyone else want to rise up and give their best, because he is constantly giving 210%.
Oh, wait.
It was unlocked.
Oh, it was.
Okay, great. Yep.
Okay, continuing?
Yep.
So the conversation that was started about 9 to 5 was that we wanted to stay within the realms of the early 80s. So a lot of those things that happened during the 80s, like specifically fluorescent lighting, wood paneling, and things like that, the set designer, Matt, came up with this rendering that reflected the early 80s, and then my job, or my task as a lighting designer, is to actually look at what lighting looked like during that time period, because lighting now has a lot of LEDs in it that we see.
One of the challenges is how do you translate an iconic movie such as 9 to 5 to the stage. We're looking at, you know, really it is written like a movie. You're in the office, you're in multiple different locations, you're in Hart's office, you're in the Xerox room, you're in you're in Hart's bedroom, you're in the garage, you're in the hospital. So how do you go to all of these different places? And we've kind of settled into, as you see behind me, this aesthetic of filing cabinets. It may be representative of the office itself of Consolidated Industries, but also just the amount of work and paperwork that women of this time period undertook to keep these businesses running and make the men in senior management look good, right? So all of these filing cabinets, we just don't go to the filing cabinet store and buy. We have over 1,200 of these filing cabinets that are on every wall, 20 feet high. Ben sourced the handles from China. We've got those sent in. We cut out 1,200 blocks. We cut out 1,200 little index card size labels. We glued those. We assembled those. We painted those. We're in the process of installing them. So that kind of forms the kind of overall meta location of our set. And then within there, we go to all of our different locations, right? So we have the Consolidated Industries bullpen, where we have 8 office desks and we have an elevator. And it was a lot of fun looking at the architecture of the period.
Now, I put all the cues into the script. Right now, we're sitting at 350 cues. So that just means that there are 350 different lighting looks that the audience will see. And every single lighting look will not be the same. So if you think about the math behind that, it takes, I say, about 2 to 3 minutes to create a cue. So if you multiply 3 times 350, that's a lot. It's too early to do math right now.
Pam Workman is our designer for 9 to 5, and so it's set in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, so obviously we're going back to bold colors, bold shoulders, shoulder pads, all that good stuff. A lot of insider things that people may not know when they're watching the show is going to be the dramatic changes that happen with a lot of the performers. Some people are going to start in a darker color and become lighter as their character progresses. The same thing with any kind of layers or tones or shades of their costumes. There's also going to be a different tone for, if you know the show, when Hart is in control of the office and when the women are in the control of the office. So there's going to be a huge different dynamic and a big change in that. So you'll also see that in the costumes, as well as obviously the action on stage.
I hope you've enjoyed this behind the scenes look at what it takes to put a massive production at SSTI here together. All the people, all the designs, all the thought that goes into what you see when you sit down in your theater seat here at an SSTI production.
Roz, coffee! It's landed in my lap. I don't have to say crap for the first time since I